Good afternoon, friends. I'm Elizabeth Beelman, and welcome back to Unearthing Shannah's Light. I have done, I don't even know how many takes of this video, between the dogs barking and me just losing my train of thought. But we're gonna try this again. Today I want to touch upon addiction. And over the past 2 weeks, I have heard of 4 people who have lost the battle to addiction. One of them being a childhood friend who was so stunningly beautiful and a force to be reckoned with. So, may you rest in peace. So many people that are addicts are some of the brightest people and the most loving and caring people that I have ever met. They just lost their way. And sometimes it happens because of traumas. Sometimes it happens because of a physical trauma and you have to go to the doctor and they prescribe you this medicine and then you're hooked. So thanks, Big Pharma. You can go fuck yourself. There are various ways and reasons why people use. I was lucky enough to be able to get sober by way of Ibogain. If nobody knows what that is an African bark root, and it is not legal in the United States, but there are underground providers. They also provide it in Canada, in Mexico, Costa Rica. There are various other places that you can go to obtain this. And when you do it, you know, it needs to be done in a setting of being monitored. I needed to get an EKG and a liver function test done before I could even be a candidate to go and receive it. And what happens is you're dosed with the Ibogain. They grind up, it's an African bark root, so they grind it up in pill form. And a nurse administered it to me. And it puts you out for many hours, if not days. And while you're out in a trance, you are journeying within. And as that's going on, you're literally meeting your demons one by one by one. And yeah, it was scary. But it was interesting. And Ibogain it's not a party drug. It's not like psilocybin, or if you're thinking of tripping like that, it's not like that. It pretty much puts you on your ass. You need to lie down, you journey the whole time. And you can see some stuff, you know. Again, it's not for the faint of heart. But I had no other choice. Rehabs didn't work for me. NA and AA didn't work for me, and I'm not shitting all over any of that. If it works for you or it works for others that you know, then by good God, like, God bless you. Unfortunately for me, my traumas were a bit too deep. But Ibogain is a bark root, and back in the Vietnam War, what happened was a lot of the soldiers were coming back with PTSD. And they were also coming back highly addicted to black tar heroin. So they were doing research studies and experiments with the Iboga or Ibogain. And I'm going to say Iboga. So they were doing research studies with Iboga. And they were dosing the soldiers, and what they were realizing is not only did it help for PTSD, which is their main source of why they were experimenting with it, but all of the soldiers are coming back on black tar heroin, and they're realizing that it reset all the opiate receptors in your body. So it's the equivalent to electroshock therapy. It can put you out for a few days or a few hours. I was out for 16 hours, and I will make a video if you're interested on what my journey was like on Ibogain itself. It's very intense and very personal. But what regular therapy, getting to the root cause of your addiction, does in what could be upwards to like 24, 25 years as you're in therapy. Iboga does in 3 days. I was gifted to go. It was about $3,000. I was a addict, so how was I going to afford my addiction and then going and that was a whole different story, and a wonderful, divinely guided one at that. A friend of mine, his brother, they had lost a mutual friend, her brother's best friend, and by way of doing like memorial causes, like they would do comedy shows or golf tournaments, etc. I was so lucky to be able to be gifted the money through what they saved from another friend's passing. So it trickled down the line of that. And shout out to the entire situation, because it was really incredible. But Ibogain it's not a full-on cure, but it's a tool, and it's a big one. And I swear to God, I feel the reason why it's not legal here is because it would fuck Big Pharma. It's a one-stop shop if you are willing to change your cage. When I went and had it administered to me, I had to come back knowing that things are different. I had to factory reset my phone to get all my dealers or anyone who was attached to that out. I had to change my job. I had to change my cage. You have to be willing to go the distance, or you can just go right back to doing that lifestyle. I knew for me, I needed it. I needed to change. I needed it for my daughter and now daughters. It works, and it saved my life. So if there's anybody who would like to know more, please do your research. You are more than welcome to reach out to me, DM me. You can email me at unearthingshadowslight@gmail.com. If you need any information, if this is finding its way on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to put you in a certain direction, or if you have questions, I will answer whatever you need. But this information needs to get out, because there are ways to go about walking through the addiction if you no longer want to be stuck in it. And the only way out is through, but you have to be ready for it. And it's not for the faint of heart. It really isn't. You go inward and you're battling your demons one by one. If anyone is really spiritually understood and understand that the chakra center, pretty much what I can tell you is Ibogain rips you open, rips your chakras out, cleans them all, throws them back in, zips you up, and sends you on your way. And I won't lie to you, when you get out, you're raw. You're raw as raw can be. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It takes away the withdrawal symptoms. It is unbelievable when it comes to the chemistry in a human body, and how I'm a firm believer that Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, gifts us humans whatever is needed to deal with the ailments. And addiction is a big one. We're on this earth, on this playing field, and so many are still numbing their faculties. And if you think for 1 second, I'm not there with you, as far as my addiction with opiates goes, I have been sober from opiates. It will be 7 years in December, on December 8th. But that wasn't without the work. You know, it's still, you still had to do the mental work. But it brought me there. It got me there. And lucky enough, I had the support system for it, but it's out there. There is other options. If rehab and NA and AA didn't work for you, come talk to me. I will put you on to whatever it is you need. There is also a lot of studies right now on psilocybin, on microdosing, to reset the synapses in your brain so your addictions aren't so much at the forefront. They go inward and they reset you. And it's just, plant medicine is a beautiful thing. It's just worth looking into. And as I dive deeper into what Unearthing Shadows Light is, I will get really nitty gritty and personal on how my journey on Ibogain went, how it led up to getting there, why I went to go do it. Obviously, I was very addicted to opiates, and the sickness that you get from being addicted to opiates is like none other. So, of course, not only are you dealing with numbing your faculties because you want to numb and not feel, but then it gets you hooked to the point where, well, now if I don't use, I get sick. And that's what I mean. Like, here we are, sick Americans, still dealing with drug addiction at a whole, and it's getting worse as time goes on. I'm also a firm believer that the people that are crossing now, and not just from addiction, but in general, the people that are crossing over are needed on the other side to help what's continuing to happen here on this plane. Helping people get their shit together, helping people cross over, helping people understand, holding that level of energy to encompass this planet and planets, this solar system, because this is galactic. This isn't just a war here. This war is spiritual, and I will forever say that. Before I go too much off on a tangent, again, I had literally, I don't know how many times I have taken this video, and something just keeps stopping me going fully into it, on my story and how Ibogain affected me and what I saw in my journey and all of that. Now is not the right time for me to dive into that, but it is the right time for me to bring what Ibogain and Iboga is up to the forefront and tell people that there are other ways and methods. If the conventional ways of this world is not working for you, please reach out to me. Please go do your research. Ibogain, Iboga, whatever one you want to type is, it will come up and it will give you the information that is needed. If you need any in-depth or personal experience and understanding, please reach out. Again, Elizabeth Beelman, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, unearthingshadowslight@gmail.com, email. Please reach out to me. Collectively, I would like to pull a few cards. I am using, again, the Messenger Oracle by Raven Felon. They're beautiful cards. I'm extraordinarily connected to them. On the bottom, it's Reveal Your Truth. So here I am on the basis of revealing my own truth here in ways of helping others. And as time goes on, I will put more into my whole story on my journey, but there's help. And all the ones that the help missed, may you all rest in peace, because there have been too many to count. And I know you all feel that because we all know somebody who has battled or is battling with addiction. Nobody is without that in this lifetime. You will all know somebody because that's how big the problem is. So I'm hoping that as time goes on, people start doing their research and understanding that, you know, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, she's put everything on this planet to aid us and ail us in the ailments that come with addiction being one of them. So I'm rambling, so I'm gonna stop and I'm just gonna continue to pull some cards for the collective. Again, this reading is timeless, so when you see it and it pops up, it is meant for you. Please, I would like, yep, there we go. Okay. All right, we're gonna go with 5 cards. So as I'm talking about addiction and my story with it all, we have the Peacock, and it's letting go of the old. So old paradigms and dynamics, the way that people have numbed and aided themselves in getting through. If you're feeling like persons, places, or things are really, you're ready to let it go. It's heavy, you can feel it, it's weighted. It's time to let go of the old paradigms. We're shifting up and out. And by doing, and how often do I talk, this is respect your boundaries. So not for nothing, but boundaries are huge. You know, no is a complete sentence. I've touched upon this before. It's stating to understand what your boundaries are and put them up so people are not crossing over into your lane. You can keep people at an arm's length and still love them. It doesn't mean that you have a love lost for others unless if you understand that the energy is toxic or you can't. Boundaries are big. Boundaries are big in anything, and they'll take you a long way, because once you start setting your own boundaries, other people will follow suit, and they will listen and accept your boundaries. And if they don't listen and accept your boundaries, then you know what? They're really not meant to be there for you at the moment. So it's respecting boundaries. It's also trusting in magic. Knowing that you humaning on this earth is magic in itself. This is divinely orchestrated. We are here for a reason, seasons, and lifetimes. Here we are at the forefront. Our magic is pulling us through. There's been a lot of prophetic situations, the universe speaking, signs coming out. Even people who are not so much into the spiritual aspect of things are noticing shifts, big shifts. And some are fearing the unknown, but this is do not fear the unknown. And what is the unknown in itself? You know, if you really think about it, it's everything that we could ever want lies right outside of our comfort zone, right? So the unknown is the uncomfortable zone. And I'm telling everybody, run towards that, because that's where things start to happen, is in the unknown. So embrace it, feel it, be here now. And the last card that gets pulled is A New Day Dawns, and this card came out yesterday and it's coming out again today. We're being shown like let go of the old paradigms while being assertive in stepping into your boundaries, trusting your own magic, not being fearful about what's coming, so you can allow a new day to dawn. Be your most authentic self, be true, to you, and as you're being true to yourself, again, by way of happy accident, you're being true to others. So love yourself, be kind to yourself, love others. For those struggling with the addictions, whether it be to even, not even drugs, it could be gym, there's so many different ways that we find ourselves addicted to things as humans. And why? Because we're here on this plane to feel. And once we start knowing that we can feel a certain way with drugs, of course people often run with it. So it's getting back to basics. Finding your light and your magic before diving into the nitty-gritty that the addictions can cause. Again, this was like my 15th take on this video, so I apologize if it was kind of slow moving. There's a lot coming in right now, and there's more to come, especially with the whole addiction aspect. But again, by way of Ibogain or Iboga, please, please do your research. Do your research. There are so many things out there that can help heal and aid, and I know the people to put you in touch with. So if anybody is struggling with addiction or needs a way out and is ready, please come talk to me. Thank you so much, and namaste.